to find the quiet wisdom that this modern soul needs. Yeah, beam me up, set my spirit free.
Welcome to Beam Me Up, a podcast that brings to light the timeless wisdom hidden within our Itihasas and Puranas. These ancient texts are treasure houses of knowledge filled with profound lessons that the modern world has sadly drifted away from. Most of us are oblivious to the immense insights they contain, insights that can illuminate every aspect of our daily lives. For instance, if you were to if you were to walk out today and ask 10 people about the Ramayana, its key characters like Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita, you might be surprised, even shocked, to find that several haven't even heard their names. That in itself is a tragedy. This podcast aims to bridge that gap, to explore what is stored in these stories, to rediscover their meanings, and to understand how their lessons can be woven into our modern lives. Far from being relics of the past, the Itihasas and Puranas are mirrors that reflect complete human journey, our struggles, our dharma, our choices, and our higher purpose. Imagine the boundless wisdom waiting to be rediscovered. Our mission here is not just to retell the popular stories that everyone knows, but also to uncover the hidden gems, the lesser known episodes, and insights that lie beneath the surface. And I'm joined by a sprightly lady who has delved deeply into these sacred texts and who will also guide us in understanding the truths embedded in these ancient narratives and how they still resonate today in our modern lives. Now, why the name Beam Me Up? Because it represents the journey from darkness to light. The essence of the word Guru. Gu symbolizes darkness and Ru symbolizes light. It is beautifully captured in the shloka Ajnanatimiram dhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurum militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Beam Me Up epitomizes this, the elevation from ignorance to awareness, from confusion to clarity, from the mundane to the divine. So, without further ado, let's begin the journey of illumination. Over to you, Damodara Priya.
Namaste everyone, I am Damodara Priya and today I'm here to take you on a magical journey all the way back to the creation. But before we begin, here's a little about me. I love dancing, Bharatnatyam, doing karate, singing, playing chess and reciting shlokas. But before we begin, I'd like to ask you one more very popular question in this world. Now tell me honestly, how many of you have ever said, "Why me?" Like when you study really hard, but the marks go like, and the brain turns into a blaming machine. Oh, the teacher was too strict, the lights went off, my pen betrayed me. But here's the truth. Sometimes the real problem isn't outside, it's inside. Our biggest troublemaker, not our teacher, not our bad luck for that matter, but it's our ego. Ego says, I'm always right, even when the math paper clearly says 7 out of 25. So, the first step to success is very simple. We must first accept our mistakes because we all know humility is the Wi Fi connection to growth. Now, let's go back to the beginning. No light, no sound, no TikTok, nothing, just emptiness. But 3 things did exist. Any guesses?
I believe we've always heard that Atma and Paramatma are eternal, no beginning, no end. I'm not really sure about the third one.
2 of your guesses are right, but I will reveal the third one, the guess. Basically, the first thing, that the person or whatever you can call it, the tattva for that matter, was Paramatma, the supreme being, the ultimate boss of the universe. Second is Mula Prakriti, the original primordial form of nature.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Think of her as the mother who has unimaginably been beautiful forever. And third, like you said, is the Atman. That's us. But the soul, not this body we see in the mirror, but that eternal spark that lays beneath us.
Okay.
We've been around changing bodies like actors changing costumes since forever. So truly, we can never die.
Yeah. That's true.
We're eternal. So now the cosmic construction begins. Now comes Lord Brahma, the cosmic architect. His job to build the entire universe. Let's imagine he's building a huge house, Nature Private Limited, just for our convenience. It makes it makes us understand this really easily.
Okay.
These kind of mnemonics.
Yeah, it's interesting though. Go ahead.
Yes. Mahatattva. First, Brahma created the Mahatattva, the very foundation of the creation. Every house needs a base, right? Mahatattva is that strong base, the cement of creation. Second, Brahma created the Tanmatras, the very bricks of the universe. These Tanmatras consist of 5 subtle elements: sound, touch, taste, form, and smell. From these 5 subtle elements came our very 5 familiar elements that we all know and call as the Panchabhutas.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Panchabhutas came from the Tanmatras then?
Yes.
So the first things that came out were sound, touch, taste, form, and smell.
Yes.
I thought it was the other way around. Go ahead. This is a very insightful thing.
Yes, because we initially from these only we are able to feel water. We're able when we touch fire, we're able to feel or hear, right? Hear the wind. So from these forms, subtle forms, the Panchabhutas that came:
Correct.
air, water, fire, earth, and space. Basically, Mother Nature's building blocks. And third were the Indriyas. Now, the bricks are done. The house needs walls and wiring. Basically, these Indriyas are that for this house. We get our senses. Here, 5 sensory organs: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. These are also called as Jnanendriyas, since we take information through them. And what many of us are unaware of are the 5 motor organs, the Karmendriyas: hands, legs, mouth, excretory organ, and procreation organ. These are called, as I said, Karmendriyas, since we perform action through these Indriyas.
Understood.
And initially we only had just the senses. I mean, we didn't have our senses. Physical manifestation of the Tanmatras are basically the Indriyas.
Understood.
Now, next comes the most dramatic character, the mind that controls all these Indriyas.
The troublemaker.
Yes, the troublemaker. Always overthinking, but sometimes he's our friend. So, then the mind was created that controls all of these Indriyas. It's kind of like a bridge between the Jnanendriya and the Karmendriyas.
Okay.
Fourth in the creation were the mountains and the trees. The roof of this creation, basically. What is creation without a roof and decor with lush trees and mountains?
Yeah, indeed.
Next, fifth in the creation were animals and birds. What is a house without color and life, right?
Yeah.
So animals and birds bring that to this creation. That's how important they are.
Absolutely.
And sixth in the creation, can you believe, were the gods and the demigods.
Yeah, so low in the order. Yeah.
Every house needs maintenance, people, right? So Brahma created these people. He created them, but he also hired them.
Wonderful. Yeah.
like divine department heads.
Ah,
Vayu for air, Indra for rain, Agni for fire. They basically control different departments of this house. They take care of this house.
right.
And seventh in the creation, any guesses finally?
I believe it's us humans.
Yes. It's finally humans in the seventh in the pecking order of creation.
So low in the order.
When I first read this, I was waiting. When are we coming? Do we even exist? Did Brahma completely forget about us? And then I'm reading. See, actually in the Puranas, it's mentioned in much more detail. Here, it's just that I'm telling it in a small manner, but in the Padma Purana, they've mentioned in much more detail.
Okay.
And I am reading, and there's no mention of humans. And finally, I was astonished that they were seventh in the creation. Like I said, not first, not second, but seventh.
Yeah.
We don't have superpowers like the gods, but something special that we all have, every human inside, is speech, thought, and free will. That's our power.
I believe this basically seals the fact that we don't have to be egoistic because we didn't matter in the beginning. But I think humans have this narcissistic tendency that they will anyway find a silver lining here also, saying that everything was created before us, for us. And that's why we came late like bosses in the end. So if we think along those lines, I think we are doomed. But
Yes.
this should actually bring in humility, saying that we are seventh in the pecking order and not important in the beginning.
Yes. You're absolutely right. I mean, that's how we're supposed to think. That's what even creation teaches us.
Yeah.
Now, next eighth and the last creation that Brahma did, the final touch-ups of the house, were the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Now, Brahma added emotions. Sattva, for example, makes us feel peaceful. Rajas makes us feel restless. And Tamas makes us feel lazy. Basically, all three fight inside us every morning when the alarm rings.
Yeah, indeed.
Now, the big question that still remains unanswered is, who owns this house?
Yeah, indeed.
Of course, it's the Paramatma.
True.
We're all just tenants here, renting space on this planet. And nature, she's the landlord who makes us keep this entire world clean.
Yep.
But what's the lesson here that you even previously mentioned? What's the lesson? The lesson is, if humans were so important, wouldn't we have been created first?
Yeah.
But no, mountains, trees, animals, even worms came before us. That means we need them, but they don't need us.
Yeah.
Without trees, no oxygen. Without bees, no food. But without us,
Yeah.
the earth might actually be relieved.
Indeed.
So let's stop acting like the boss of the universe, of this nature, in fact, and start being her friend.
Yep. I agree.
So, to concise briefly what I said, to grow, we must first look inside. To succeed, we must first be humble. To be happy, we must first be grateful. Like Mahatma Gandhi said, Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed.
True.
So, my dear friends, let's respect every bit of this creation, from the tiniest ant to the tallest tree, because respect is like a mirror, and what you give comes right back at you.
True. Well said. And this is a beautiful set of lessons from the creation.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
we've seen how the creation was done, but if we go into more detail, still some questions are unanswered. If you just look at human beings for that matter, we know that from the order of creation of human beings, we were seventh.
Yeah.
But we still don't know how exactly humans were created. What was the process in which they were created, and who were the first human beings to be created, who started the whole generation of human beings. That still remains unanswered. Now, this story of our very Puranas answered this question. Even I had these doubts, for that matter, when I read the creation. Now, long, long ago, when the universe was still young and the air itself hummed with creation, Lord Brahma, the cosmic creator, decided to shape life in a new way. When stars were still figuring out where to twinkle and galaxies were still learning how to spin, from his own divine body, he split into two forms, a male and a female form.
Okay.
The male form was Swayambhuva Manu, and the female form was known as Shatarupa.
Oh, okay.
She was beautiful beyond words, and one boon that she had was she would never age. Even if she were to be 100 years old or 1,000 years old, she would just look like a maiden.
Wow.
That was one boon that she had. Now, together they stood as the first man and first woman, the beginning of mankind. Now, two of our questions are answered, but still, wait for what happened next. Things were not so easy going as we expected. Life always throws challenges, right?
Yeah.
Same thing happened in these two's lives as well. The moment Manu was born, he bowed before Lord Brahma and said humbly, "O Lord, command me, tell me what I must do, and I shall obey." Pleased with his devotion, Brahma smiled. His voice carried the calm strength of creation itself. "My son, continue my work, create life, spread generations of humankind upon the earth." But Manu hesitated. His eyes lowered. His voice was uncertain. "Father," he said, "how can I do so when the earth herself is missing? She lies drowned deep beneath the dark waters of Rasatala, deep in the cosmic ocean after the great deluge, the Mahapralaya."
Wow.
For the first time, Lord Brahma himself felt silent. The creator was puzzled. The earth, the very foundation, had vanished into the watery depths. Now, Rasatala is a realm that is comparatively extremely lower than the earth. So she was drowned in that cosmic ocean. And the ocean in Rasatala is called a cosmic ocean. It's not any normal ocean. It's not like it is boundless. It is a huge, almost has no depth. Like we can't calculate that much of sea is there. So the earth was drowned there. It's beyond imagination. So Brahma tried everything he could do. He's the creator. He would have a lot of abilities. But no matter what he did, he could not get the earth from Rasatala. It was just out of his abilities. So what did Lord Brahma do? Lord Brahma closed his eyes, entered a deep, tranquil meditation, and called out from his heart, "O Lord Narayana, preserver of all worlds, you have asked me to create. But how can creation happen when the earth herself is missing?
Yeah.
She's lost. Please show me the way." And then something extraordinary really happened. From within Lord Brahma's nostrils emerged a tiny boar, barely the size of a thumb. The gods looked on in surprise, but their wonder grew when that tiny boar started to grow, slowly but steadily, rising higher and higher, filling the skies themselves. His body glowed like molten gold.
Wow.
His eyes blazed like suns. In fact, like a crow's suns, just not like a normal sun. His eyes
would have been a scene.
Yes. And his roar shook the pillars of the heavens.
Wow.
Everyone gasped. It's not just a boar. It is Lord Narayana himself in his Varaha Avatara. The heavens shook as Lord Varaha let a thunderous roar that rippled through every corner of the cosmos. Bhoo, where are you? I am coming for you, said Lord Varaha. He shook his mane, sniffed the winds, raised his head, mighty head, and leapt straight into the cosmic ocean. The waves exploded around him, the mountain peaks breaking apart, and the very waters trembled beneath his strength. Just imagine that scene.
It would have been marvelous.
Varaha himself is so magnificent in that form, and even the nature around him was, kind of aiding into his beauty. That scene would have been a marvel.
Yeah, indeed.
Down he dove to the depths, to the deepest depths, where light could never reach. Just take the Pacific Ocean, the Mariana Trench, there light can't reach. So imagine Rasatala. What kind of a place would it be?
Indeed.
He searched the ocean bed. His tusks gleamed like lightning, even beneath the waves. Now, those tusks would have been a great source of light deep
indeed.
there.
Yeah, powerfully white.
Yes. He sniffed here, he sniffed there. His nose was twitching like a divine detective. And then, he found her. There lay our beloved Bhudevi, the earth goddess, covered in darkness, waiting to be freed. With infinite gentleness, Lord Varaha lifted her upon his tusks.
Yeah, why wouldn't he? She's his wife.
Yes. Radiant once more, his face glowed with relief and divine grace. But just as he was beginning to rise, the waters stirred with fury. Why? From the shadows emerged the demon Hiranyaksha, monstrous and proud. His eyes was blazing with hatred. The demon with more ego than brains. That's one thing about this Hiranyaksha demon. His brother was way more intelligent than this fellow, our friend right here, Hiranyaksha. Because the boon, if most of us know, the boons that he had asked, he had taken days to ask that boon. It's not like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha's brother.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, true.
Yes.
Very smart.
He was extremely smart. It's not like the god came, we asked a boon and it's done. He took days.
Yeah.
He covered everything. He thought of every probability that could exist.
Yeah.
And for humans, it was just not possible to figure out the solution.
Yep.
It had to be Lord Narasimha.
Correct.
So, but in this case, it's kind of contrary because Hiranyaksha, not so great actually with his brains. He didn't make much use of it. He said, "Ha, Varaha! How dare you steal what lies in my domain? The earth is mine now. Face me if you dare." But Lord Varaha's calm gaze never wavered. We all know Vinasha Kale Viparita Buddhi, and Hiranyaksha insisted on fighting with Lord Varaha. The heavens darkened, lightning danced across the ocean, and then began a battle that would shake the very bones of creation. For not one, not two, but 1,000 years. They fought blow after blow, roar after roar. The clash of their might lit up the skies like fire. Mountains trembled, even the stars peaked. Who's winning? And the gods, the devas, they watched in awe and fear. At last, with a thunderous strike, finally, with one mighty blow, Lord Varaha ended Hiranyaksha's tantrum once and for all. The waters calmed, the skies brightened. Rising from the ocean, Varaha carried Bhudevi gently upon his tusks, placed her back in her place, glowing, calm, and ready to bloom again.
Wow.
The life is ready to bloom again, right? When he flew from Rasatala, here's an interesting fact from our Puranas. When he flew from Rasatala upwards, carrying Bhudevi with a never before seen force, the water from the deepest depths of Rasatala came out of his nostrils, breath. That water drenched the denizens of Janoloka. That is a whopping stretch of 11 realms.
Wow.
6 below the earth and 5 including the earth.
That's unbelievable.
Yes. That's crazy. 11 realms. So Sanakadi brothers, they were not some 11 realms is not a small stretch. And earth is not considered to be, this is in itself is a big realm, but the higher realms, the Urdhva Lokas, are even bigger in size than these. So that was a whopping stretch of 11 realms.
Yeah, unimaginable.
So in Janoloka, there were divinities like the Sanakadi brothers, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara. Yeah, all of them were the Manasa Putras of Brahma, and it drenched them. Lord Brahma bowed in reverence. The Devas showered flowers from the heavens. The air itself hummed. It seemed to sing. Glory to Lord Varaha, the divine savior who restored the earth. And thus, creation found its home again.
Wow, this was an unbelievable.
The earth was returned to her place in the universe. Life was born anew. Let us join this celestial celebration and sing the glory for Lord Varaha. Damshtragrakotya bhagavantstvaya dhrita virajate bhudhara bhusya bhudhara yatha vanannissarato data dhrita matangajendrasya sapatra padmini. Now this was the divine shloka that the devas, actually there are many shlokas, but this is one of my favorite shlokas. In this basically they describe the Lord Damshtragra Kotya, the one who carries the Bhudevi, the earth, on the tips of his tusk. Damshtragra Kotya Bhagavantstvaya Dhrita, the one who is carried by you, Lord Varaha. Virajate Bhudhara Bhusabhudhara. He looks like this. In the next line, they're going to tell the upame, basically how he looks. They're comparing it, a metaphor. How does he look carrying Bhudevi on his tusks, tip of his tusks? Like Matangajendrasya Sapatra Padmini, the king of elephants, moving from the forest majestically, playfully holding a lotus in its trunk.
Wow.
That was the scene that the gods describe. That's how beautiful the scene was. The Lord Varaha carrying.
Apt analogy.
This is one of my favorites. Now, what are the lessons that we actually learnt?
Yeah, that's the most important thing here, because we have to give lessons from the Puranas. Yeah.
Now, the first lesson here is the value of a word. One of the greatest lessons here is the power of our word. Have you ever noticed how in group conversations, some people's opinions are brushed aside? Often, it's not because what they said was unworthy, but because once upon a time, they said something, they promised something, but they didn't follow through. And after all, people remember. Words are like arrows. Once released, they cannot be taken back.
Indeed.
Take Swayambhuva Manu's example for that matter. When the creator himself assigned him the monumental task of creation, Manu didn't just nod and say, "Sure thing, Lord." He expressed his hesitation, voiced his concerns, and sought help. Here's a lesson. There's a lesson right there for all of us. When we say, or even before we say yes to anything, we must mean it. Every word we utter carries the weight of a promise. If we value what we say, others will too. And if we don't, well, we might find our words treated like background music in a crowded cafe.
Absolutely, and that happens to majority of the people because they don't understand this one tiny but powerful aspect.
Yes. The second lesson, a very important and profound lesson, is the ego within Hiranyaksha's shadow. Now, our friend Hiranyaksha, that mighty demon, wasn't just an external villain. He is the very embodiment of something we all wrestle with: ego.
Yeah.
Like Hiranyaksha was blocking Lord Varaha's path as he lifted Bhumi Devi out of the watery depths. Often our ego also stands right between us and our higher goals and dreams.
Yeah, true.
It whispers, "You are great. Why change?" And before we know it, we actually end up believing it. We think we are the smartest in the room. Until the reality, not so gently or gently, comes to correct us.
Mm. True.
But the thing is, we must learn from our mistakes faster. So, we must look at Lord Varaha. Look at him. He was utterly unshaken. He was steady and he was purposeful. He teaches us that the only way to conquer ego is through humility. It's the ultimate weapon and, ironically, the most underrated one. Life is an ongoing battle between our inner Varaha and inner Hiranyaksha. The day we stop learning and start feeling too proud, we stop learning, the demon gets the upper hand. So let's keep fighting with laughter, with learning, and a good pinch of humility. That is the most important ingredient for all of us in the recipe of success.
Beautiful lesson.
Now, the third very major lesson is, why a boar? Really?
Mhm.
When Lord Narayana chose to appear as a boar, the cosmic audience would have raised a few eyebrows. A boar? Not a lion? Not a majestic stallion? Nope. A humble, mud-loving boar. But why? Because the Lord was trying to teach us a profound truth. Profound, but it is a subtle truth. Every being in this creation has value. No form is insignificant. The same creature we often considered lowly ended up rescuing the earth itself. What's the message? Never underestimate anyone or any creature based on appearance or status.
Yeah.
Everyone has a unique spark that is just waiting to be discovered and nurtured. Sometimes the person we overlook is actually, he could be the Varaha who could lift us out of our own chaos.
Indeed.
Another lesson that Lord Varaha, through this, one more reason that he took the form of a boar is actually very important. Since Hiranyaksha, this demon, why was he so powerful? Because he had done penance to Lord Brahma and he had asked a boon. What did he ask? He asked, "Oh Lord Brahma, grant me immortality." But we all know immortality cannot be granted. That's all demons do. But then what did he ask? He named every single creature that existed in this cosmos, not now, but then. Right from the greatest of gods to the least of microorganisms. But what did he miss? One organism or one creature, that is the boar. Not out of ignorance or not that he forgot to name it. It was because he was too proud. He thought, what can a boar do to me? A mud-loving boar. I am a demon from a mighty clan. And what can a boar, just a normal boar, do to me? And that right there led to his downfall. Just like I said in the previous lesson, that ego stands right between us and our higher goals. That's what happened with Hiranyaksha. So we must not repeat that same mistake as he did. Every being in this world, like I said, has unlimited potential in them.
Beautifully put.
It's just waiting to be unlocked and utilized. Like Bhudevi, she was trapped under the deep waters of Rasatala, waiting to be freed. And our beloved Lord Varaha, he broke the barriers of discrimination and narrow-mindedness, the very symbolization of Hiranyaksha, by taking the form of a mere boar and rescued the earth. So yes, next time we see a boar on the road, maybe give it a respectful nod, because it once saved the world.
And do you think there's any lesson that needs to be learned from Bhudevi herself?
Yes, of course. Bhudevi showed immense amount of belief and hope. She never lost hope. She didn't, accept defeat that, oh, my fate is just this much. I'm born to just be drowned in Rasatala. No, she had immense hope that her beloved Lord Varaha will come and rescue her and free her from this Rasatala. It was basically like a prison. Honestly, she couldn't go from that place. So a powerful being like Lord Varaha had to come and rescue her. And that too, it's not just Rasatala. Even Hiranyaksha was sitting there.
Yeah.
Because the Rasatala was given to Hiranyaksha. That was his realm. So there was just literally no one who could free her. And thus, even in that dire situation where no hope was there, the light inside her, the light of hope inside her was still alive, where light could not reach in the Rasatala.
That's why we say Kshamaya Dharitri. She is the example and embodiment of that.
Yes.
Beautiful.
The fourth lesson is look within. Brahma's moment of pause. Even Lord Brahma had a moment of being completely lost. He had no idea. The earth had sunk. Chaos reigned everywhere. And he didn't know what to do. He looked everywhere for answers, except the one place they truly existed, within himself.
This is my favorite.
Yes, last but not the least, the very most important lesson for all of us. Only when he paused, introspected, and turned inward did he find the solution, did the solution emerge. That's a gentle nudge for all of us. We often hunt for answers in people, books, Google, even in our morning coffees. But the truth is, most of the answers to all of our questions is sitting inside us, sipping tea, waiting to be noticed.
Yeah.
Our inner voice is called the Antaryamin, and that Antaryamin is the best guide we'll ever have. So before we act, speak, or decide, it's worth turning in. Because in the end, the wisest guru in all of our lives is that our inner selves.
Yeah. There's one other beautiful takeaway for me and a great insight, I believe, is both meditated, Brahma and Hiranyakashipu, but their intents were different. And that is why to both people, Bhagavan himself appeared in front of them, but to one he was a friend and a protector, but to other he was a punisher and a destroyer. Because Hiranyaksha's meditation or penance, as we call it, was born out of bad intent. Brahma's penance or meditation was born out of good intent to help the world.
Yes.
So to Brahma, he appeared as a benevolent protector and a helper.
Absolutely.
To Hiranyaksha, he appeared as well in front of him, but as a destroyer and a punisher.
Yes. And also if you see, Hiranyaksha took eons and eons for his penance. It's not like Brahma, he started today and tomorrow Brahma was, okay, fine, ask your boon. No. Yeah. It took him multiple years, like thousands and thousands of years for Brahma to appear. But whereas look at Brahma, he just took a moment of pause, but that moment of pause was everything for him.
Yeah.
He forgot for that moment that he was the creator. And that right there won the heart of the Lord. And
Indeed.
That's why he appeared for him as a friend, like you mentioned.
Right.
In short, if I would like to concise this entire episode, speak less, mean more. Fight ego with humility. Respect every being, even the muddy ones. And when you're confused, pause, breathe, and look within. Because maybe, just maybe, the Varaha that can lift your world up is already inside you.
This is unbelievably amazing, and I would really like to thank you and congratulate you because at such a young age, you're so insightful, and you chose out of your busy schedule to come to our show and give us your valuable insights. Damodara Priya, we are extremely pleased by your presence here. We would like to continue our association with our podcast going forward. With this, we come to the conclusion of episode 1. Look forward to your amazing association in episode 2. Shubho Darkaha.
Jyoti, Jyoti.